What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today I'm with Megan.
Hey.
We haven't filmed a video together in so long.
I don't even remember what the last main channel
right. It's just been vlogs, honestly. So I'm so excited for this video. You guys requested Megan's presence in this video when I discussed this idea in a vlog. We're gonna be talking today all about sex, love, and relationships. You know, they kind of go hand in hand sometimes they don't. It's always better to have, like, you know, more opinions than one. You know, we've had different experiences. You guys asked us some good questions in the comments of the vlog and on Twitter, so thank you for your questions, and let's go ahead and get into them.
We're excited to answer them.
This is from Megan, another Megan, and she says, my question would be how to deal with feeling weird, awkward / bad about myself for not having experience with boys by age 17. Most of my friends have, and sometimes it's hard for me to hear them talking about the boys in their lives. They always tell me I need to put myself out there more, but they seem to attract boys without having to put much effort into doing that.
Wow. Okay, well, can I just say that I think it's in high school, it's like a cultural thing, like hookup culture, or, well, I guess it gets more amplified in college. Like she said, when your friends are talking about it, and you're like, oh, come on.
It feels like everyone really is going out and like having all these like experiences, and I can really relate to this question because I didn't even have my first real kiss until I was 17.
Yeah.
I mean,
so you're probably in the same
had
boat.
like a fake first, like, let's talk about a first kiss really quick. How old we were?
I was 12 or 13.
Yeah, you were like 12
in
or
middle
13.
school. Yeah.
I had, you know, a little like truth or dare kiss when I was maybe 12 or 13 as well, but it was not anything like slightly romantic.
She didn't consider it real.
I really didn't think it was my first real kiss until I was 17, and I remember just that whole gap of years just feeling so awkward, and like boys didn't like me, and just like, when am I gonna have my time,
my moment?
Yeah,
my moment.
it's just so personal for everyone, and you just need to let it happen in its timing. And I know that's probably like not what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And about the part of her friends being like, you know, you need to put yourself out there more.
It's like, no, okay, if you're not comfortable like being like an out there gal and you're more shy, like just embrace that shit, and you'll literally find a guy who's either probably the same way or who's the opposite, who will kind of like take you out of your shell of sorts, you know?
You know, it's really just based off of like what you want, and some people want to wait for like a good person that they actually like to have, you know, this special moment with.
I think that's more important than like rushing it and having your friends like pressure you and all that kind of stuff. Just be like, you know what, guys, it'll happen when it happens. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay.
Also, one thing that I want to say too is just like being open to it happening rather than being like, oh, I'm never gonna have my
like I'm
first
gonna be single
kid.
forever.
Yeah, you know, like if you have that kind of a mood, then it probably like won't, you know, just because you're perpetuating it not happening, you know? So just like be open to it, be like, this will happen whenever, in due time, you know?
Next question, this is from Becca, and she says, first of all, she said fave collab duo TBH, so thank you, Becca. My question is how to get over a crush that's never gonna happen. Love you guys.
Holy fuck.
We love
Literally
you.
like
We can both relate.
Yeah, I can relate. I can relate so hard. I really just have to stress like how it's just not worth your time. Like if you know that it's not gonna be anything, it's never gonna become of anything, it's like you're just wasting your fucking time. And yeah. I feel you, girl, because you are sitting there being like, oh, but maybe one day.
It's really hard when you have this extreme crush on someone and no one else is like taking your mind off of it, and you just like see them all the time. It's really hard to just like get over this person. But I think the most important thing to do, once you have like been able to make it clear, you can't just have this secret forever. You know what I mean? Like there has to be some point where like you know if this person like is interested in you as more than a friend or not. You need to like get to that point in some way, and then if they are, then you pursue that. But you just said this crush, you know, is never gonna happen, so you have to think about that. If this person doesn't want to commit to you, if this person doesn't like you in the same way as you like them, then they're never gonna be worth like being in a relationship with.
No, and like it's just not worth the stress and the whole back and forth, and you literally just wasting all of this energy on thinking that something's gonna happen. You will never get to that point if you still have that open door for them. You know what I mean? You have to like close it off and be like, I'm fucking done with that. I'm out of here,
and
man.
it's just gonna be done in your own timing, you know. Like,
I'm speaking off of personal experience because I was just wasting my time with this boy like last year, a lot of it, and just, you know, going back and forth to him and just being like, oh, I know this will never be anything, like he doesn't actually care about me, but like I still want to like try, you know, just because I literally just wanted attention. So I would just keep trying. And my friend Finley, actually, like, I asked for male advice from him and he was like, Megan, you're not getting what you need out of this. So like, why are you wasting your time, you know?
Yeah. If you're not
you
getting like anything for you from like having a crush on this person, then you kind of just need to put things into perspective and be like, if they don't like me in that way, I have to accept it, and I have to accept that it's not supposed to be that way, at least right now. You know, maybe in the future.
Exactly, but you have to like just close the door and be like, fuck it, I'm gonna move on.
And as much as you want to, you can't force attraction. You can't force somebody to like you in the same way as you like them. I've definitely had that experience multiple times with guys, so it's gonna be okay, girl. Tamara says, can you please touch on long distance relationships and having trust issues while in one, because I'm currently in that situation and some advice on that would be great. And 36 people thumbs this up, so I think this is relatable, or you guys just wanted us to answer it. So
I think they want you to answer it because I can't speak on this. I've never been in an LDR.
My experience with my last 2 relationships being long distance, having trust issues, that's gonna be one of the biggest things, because you can't see this person every day to like know what they're up to. You have to be able to like know this person well enough to be able to trust being in a long distance relationship with them and having all of that time apart, because although you're not gonna be able to really necessarily know what they're doing all the time, you just need to have like enough love and
respect for them.
Yeah, respect and maturity in the relationship to know that like this is going somewhere. I think the biggest thing is always having something to look forward to, whether that's when you're gonna see each other next or you guys' future being together. You need to be working on being together in the future, ideally in the same place, because if you think about it, you cannot have a long distance relationship forever. I mean, it can last, you know, a few years, but it's gonna just be really hard if you guys aren't working towards living in the same place, or at least being closer to each other where you will get to see each other more often. I think that's what makes most long distance relationships not succeed, is just being
like
stuck
existing in a limbo of
yeah,
sorts.
being stuck in this place for so long where, you know, you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah,
so
like,
me and Sean,
me
and Sean we always know the next time we're gonna see each other. We always make the effort to see each other once a month, even though we live on complete opposite sides of the country, and sometimes like neither of us thinks we're gonna be able to afford it. You know, it's important to be able to make this time for each other and enjoy the time you are together. But really, I think it takes a very mature person and a very mature guy to even enter this type of a relationship. I think so many people are afraid of the distance, and that they let that be something that's like, I'm not gonna do this. But you have to just have the trust in each other, and if you think your guy is doing something shady, or your girl, if you think the person you're with in your relationship is like up to shady things, you know, I think you need to trust that intuition. And
I agree.
If they're like if they're not telling you when they're like hanging out with certain people, or you can just sense when someone's kind of
you
like
can definitely,
being
especially
shady
like
of you.
Even people are really good also, I've come to realize, just in my past of just fucking
Fuckboys?
Yeah.
Let's say what they are.
Let's tell
Megan
them
has
for
a
what they
fuckboys
are.
video if you
I
haven't
do.
seen it.
Oh my god,
Do
classic.
a little card up here.
Yeah, it just like is the signs of
The signs of a
fuckboy.
fuckboy.
Yeah, but people are really good at manipulation, and if you know somebody well enough and like know that they're doing that to you, it's just like, what are you doing? You know, why are you treating yourself like that? If you know that they're being shady, if you know that they're being like an idiot or whatever, and just like doing like dumb shit.
If it's stressing you out and giving you, you know, more worry and more like pain than happiness, then the relationship really just isn't worth it. That's kind of hard to hear though when you're like, you know, really into this person. But
yeah, it definitely is. But I mean, I think that it's worth it for your sanity and your literal self-worth to, you know what's worth your time. That's just one thing that I would love to stress in this.
This is from Mary. She says, how to feel confident and sexy and powerful in your own skin the first time you have sex, so that way you can be as comfortable and relaxed as possible while doing it.
Okay, well, I mean, your first time is obviously...
Let's talk about your first time.
Yeah, it's obviously going to be awkward, you know? I mean, I guess you can go into it expecting it to, like, for you to be all like sexy and like into it and, you know, all these things. But my first time was honestly trash. Like, it was literally just, it was absurd.
Sometimes it's just like not what you expect.
It's definitely not what you expect, and it happens in just like weird ways sometimes, right. You know, and you're like, whoa.
I mean, like, I planned for my first time to happen. Like, I kind of like knew. I was a very like unintentionally prude like all of high school. I just didn't have any sexual experience with boys. I like planned for my first time. I, you know, thought it was the person that like was really special to me and like the person that I wanted it to happen with, I guess.
Yeah.
So it was more planned, but at the same time, like, I remember crying. I remember it was very like emotional and painful. And you kind of just have, like, that's not something you really want to hear, but everyone kind of knows that, like,
yeah. I mean, unless you're
like,
you've been warming yourself up for, you know, years to come or whatever. But my first time was like painful as hell too. Also because like I was saying, it's just, I wasn't really expecting for that to happen. I actually have a video called The Sex Talk I Wish I Had, where I talked about like my full first time story. I was like, I'm a virgin, and he was like, oh, you're kidding, right? And I was like, I'm not, you know? And then we're just like, literally, who says that? We're just like doing everything else, and then it just like happened, and I just didn't really expect for it to happen. So I immediately was like, no, you know, this isn't. So basically it was like we didn't have sex, but he like, you know, took my V, if you will.
We can't really like tell you guys, you know, when is the right time for you. I
think that you definitely know. And like Lindsay was saying, sometimes people take more time to plan it, and I almost like wish that I did do that, because I mean, I don't necessarily regret it because it happened when it happened, and you know, I don't really think about my past too often anyways, you know.
It's honestly not like as big of a deal, I think.
Yeah, a lot of
people make it and hype it up to be this like huge thing, but it's just gonna happen for everyone, and then you can like move past that and have, you know, like more experiences. And
it's a personal preference thing. Again, it's like if you just want to like get her done and just be like, fuck it, I just like literally
don't feel bad about it. Like, if you want to be sexually active, like obviously just like know how to be safe and just have your first time with like this person that you want to, you know what I mean? Like, if someone's available for you and you're like, you know what, I want to have sex, like, freaking do whatever you want, but just like obviously, you know, be safe about it, okay? And we need to kind of touch more on, like she said, how to have confidence in your own skin before your first time, so you can be the most comfortable and relaxed while doing it.
Well, I think that's like being comfortable with the person for sure, because if they're making you feel uncomfortable and like you don't really know them that well or something like that, you know, there's just a million different reasons why somebody could make you feel uncomfortable in that kind of a situation. I say like just make an effort to like making it what you want it to be if like you don't want to be uncomfortable, you know what I mean?
And be with, you know, a person that makes you feel good and makes you feel comfortable when you're being intimate with them. If your first time is freaking horrible, like that's so many people's, and you're gonna get over it, and you're gonna have so much better experiences, and it's gonna be okay.
Like, it gets lost in the sauce after a while. You're like,
it really does. First time, so don't stress. Just don't stress out about it too much.
Yeah, and if it's bad, it becomes comical after a while. You're like, oh my god, like, what was I even doing? You know?
Yeah, you'll like look back and just be like, wow, why did I think that like that was
a good idea? Like,
no, that was not good. Okay, this is a good question. It's kind of more of like an education question. What does being sexually active mean? Like, once you lose your virginity, are you sexually active forever? Like, if my doctor asks me if I'm sexually active, but I haven't had sex in a year, 2 years, 50 years, etc., would I still be considered sexually active?
No, I mean, it's a question of like if you're active now.
Right. It's more, yeah, I think sexually active is like, it's more of like an, are you currently, like, are you choosing to have sex, or are you choosing to be abstinent? It's more of one of those like types of a question.
Yeah, I never really give just a yes or no answer. I always give kind of like a back story to it, because I'm just that kind of detailed woman.
The next question is, your parents aren't okay with who you are dating, but you're happy. What would you do?
I think it's like very reliant on your own personal happiness. So, I mean, if other people aren't into it, it's like, fuck it, you're happy.
Your parents don't know this person like 1/100th as much as you do.
Yeah, especially if you're in love, like, whew, you know?
Yeah. If the person that you're dating, if you've been told by multiple people that are close to you, this is not a good person for you, or like, I don't support this relationship, like if these people are flat out telling you I don't think this is someone that you should date, then I think that's worth listening to, because I've definitely had some experiences like this where I've already been, you know, involved in the person, and I already have like fell for them in a way, and then it's just like you do realize later that, you know, sometimes
these people were
they're right, you know, they're trying to look out for you, and maybe they know things that you don't know about this person. And
but I mean, also it's like your parents, you know, how much do they know about this person that you don't know?
Exactly. They don't really understand you guys' relationship, and they met this person like 1 time or 2 times or something, then, you know, that's not something that you need to base your love for them off.
It depends on the details of the situation, for sure. But I mean, if it, like Lindsay's saying, like if multiple people are coming up to you being like,
definitely be conscious of what the people close to you are saying and their opinions, but don't, you know, base your whole
like existence
love for this person off of what your parents think about them. That is definitely a difficult position, I feel like, to be in, though, especially if you're like close with your parents. You'll see, you know, if this person isn't a good person, you'll eventually come to see that. All right, next question is from Miss Kayla Wall. Hey girl. She says, how do you be in a relationship and on a spiritual path at the same time?
I think that nobody should like sacrifice their own. He always does this. I don't think that anybody should sacrifice their own growth as a person to like be in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like if the person loves you and you're in a relationship and whatever, you shouldn't feel like you have to sacrifice anything to be in it, you know? Like you should be growing together. You
can definitely still continue on your personal path of growth and your own spirituality while maintaining a relationship. Now you might, you know, sometimes want to dedicate more of your time to your partner and you guys, you know, being together and things like that, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to have your own personal time.
You can take that time, be like, hey, listen, I need like a day for me, and then you go home and do your day for me, you know? You have to like just allot that kind of time for yourself and not get lost in the sauce of like, oh, I'm with this person all the time and like we're just doing this,
yeah,
you know?
It's like hard sometimes when you are like deep into a relationship, especially a new relationship, with just wanting to be with this person all the time, and that's so, you know, normal. But you also do need to still have that time for yourself and be able to take care of yourself and do things that are for you. Then you can appreciate more being with your partner and how they make you feel and all those certain things.
It feels more special once you like take the time away and then like return back to it.
The last question that we are going to answer is from Gloria, and she says, how can you be sure if a guy really even cares about you?
Dude,
Larry is doing some cute sunbathing.
I took like a couple photos. Honestly, I need to show you because this is my son right now.
Sunbathing right now. That's cute.
He's fucking cute. If the person's just not even trying, like you can see when somebody has such a lack of effort, and that is such a red flag of they don't care. They're not going to care because you're just like just something they can toss around or whatever.
Is this person making time for you? Is this person texting you back in a timely manner? I had this idiot that, you know, a few years ago, you know, I was into him, but it was like a light, you know, beginning of the thing type thing. And he would just like hang out with me for like a whole day and then like not respond to a text from me for like a week or 2 weeks, and then come back and be like, I'm so sorry, I was having like some family problems, like try to like blame it on something. And it's just like, okay,
where were you?
You couldn't send me a text saying, hey, I'm going through some shit right now, I'll talk to you, you know,
when I can,
like,
you know?
If this person can't even hit you with like a text back, or also people that just like literally will never actually make the time to hang out with you, if this person isn't making like a conscious effort to see you and to talk to you and to take time for you, then they do not care about you.
Yeah, I've just had so many situations like this where somebody has been, especially when I go back home, you know, specifically the idiot from last year will be like, oh my god, I'm so excited to see you, blah blah blah, and like,
when are you getting here? Like leading up to it for like a month, and then you're there. Don't hit you up.
Don't hit you up, but only at 2:50 a.m. to say, you up?
Bitch.
Shut the fuck up. Literally, bitch. Shut the fuck up. Like, and
you're canceled, blocked. Deleted.
It makes me sad also because he was the homie, you know? Like, he was in my friend group of guys back home, and he has flopped, you know? He obviously only wanted one thing, and it's just absurd. It's literally absurd, and you know when people are worth your time or not.
And sometimes it's really hard because, okay, we can both talk about this from experience. Sometimes, you know, you're just lonely, and maybe you haven't, like, been with someone intimately in a really long time, and you do like this person as, like, a friend. Like, they're a good person, right? But they're just not, like, making as much as an effort as you would like, but you're like, is it still worth it? Sometimes maybe it's worth it to, like, get the dick or, like, hook up with this person. You know, sometimes maybe that's what you want, and that's totally fine. You shouldn't feel ashamed by that, you know what I mean? But as for actually if this person cares about you, you know, I think something really important is, does this person want you to be around when their friends are around? Does this person want you to be a secret? Do not ever let yourself, unless you really don't care, do not ever let yourself be like the secret. Don't ever let yourself be the girl that this guy just sees at, you know, midnight, and then when you guys are in a big group of friends, you know,
you're sitting on opposite sides of the room,
yeah,
like pretending like, oh my god,
that literally is the worst.
She spoke on that entire situation, but it's like, you're lonely. Like, I was in like a year-long like dry spell, and like, you know, literally when I would,
it's okay.
When I would go home, I'll be like, he's here, you know, like, he's obviously the one. Like, literally,
you just think that it's worth your time, but then when you have these feelings afterward,
but then you just remove yourself from the situation, and you're like, what was I thinking? You know, like,
I'm better off.
We got really heavy duty into like personal situations here, but basically,
that's what you need.
Yeah, that's what you need, is a little backup situation there, just to realize that you're like not alone if you're doing any of these things. Like, honey, I've been through it, okay? So many fuckboys in the past, like, literally just, and you have to every form of
you
them.
have to weed through these shitty people, and you'll look back and you will be so happy, because you have to go through these people to realize what you need and what you deserve and what you want.
Well, I agree to a certain extent, but I don't think that you should like
put yourself in
I don't think that you should strategically be like, well, you know, I'm gonna remain here. Like, you need that person, and if it's us right now being like, hey, wake up, like, you need to remove yourself, like, that was Finley for me to be like, what the fuck are you doing? And just from like, I literally went to him from just like guy advice standpoint, and like the text, I honestly want to read you guys the text because it literally changed my life.
Get the text.
He goes, there's ways to treat people with respect, just the way you would treat a friend. Especially if you're having sex, it's more important to be sensitive and aware of how you're making your partner or partners feel. You're not getting anything you need out of this, which is an orgasm, but you're getting a whole bunch of stress and diminished self-esteem. You're better off playing with yourself, no lie. I mean, until you find someone else or whatever, but better off than with this guy, I mean. And I was like, my jaw dropped, you know? I was put in my place, if you will. I was like, fuck, oh my god, that's so true. Like, there's a level of respect that you have to have for somebody when you're intimate with them, and if they're not giving you that kind of respect, but you're giving it to them, you know, I spent so much time doing that, like giving more love than I was receiving back, and there just comes a point where you have this moment where you're like, what am I doing, you know? Like, why am I wasting my time on these stupid idiots? It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Shut the door, move on, and something even better will come into your life for you to receive. I assure you that.
And when you find that fine ass hunty, you will be with them. All right, we have to end this video because we have been talking for like 40 minutes.
So long.
So we're gonna say thank you so much for watching.
Yes.
We love you guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And honestly, if you watched this point, leave us a comment. Leave us a comment. Just if you have any more advice, leave it in the comments. Good luck out there. It's gonna be okay.
Good luck in the game, you know? You'll find the one, I assure you that.
You will. You know, when it's right timing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bye you guys.
Bye. That was a nice one.
Amazing. We killed it.
And it was right, that's why I stayed with you. The dick was too good to make me feel good for temporary love. You was your temporary love.